Hello. Feeling a lot right now. Make your mistakes here. There's time for you to find your way, but make no mistake, dear, it's just a waste of clay to take so long here in your mind. If time is like clay and it's finite and final, you will make your way the easy way or the hard way. The hard way isn't clear where we wanted to be anything other than this. In this moment in skin in time, and I am like a puzzle that's trying to find itself or to climb on to a shelf that I was made for. Instead of this broken pieces on the floor, this hole in the ground, I keep trying to climb out. What for? Just cry out for help. You've done it before. Just cry out for help. Don't keep gathering up yourself. Just cry out. Just cry out. You weren't made to be a puzzle, dear. You were made to be whole. To that little boy's got in your here alive on my own. Whoa, 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 won't get out of here alive on my own. Whoa, 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 and I've been trying to find a home except this home in my heart, made by you alone, made by you alone. And I'm trying to come home, but trying gets in the way, 'cause I keep wanting to find the glue that will hold these pieces together. But not you, no, not you. It can't be as simple as that, can it? Well, I bet it can. I bet it can. I bet it is. I bet it is. I bet it is. I bet it is. I just walked around the Christian college where Sufjan Stevens went to school. His faith is stronger than anyone's I hear in the music industry, in the music scene, other than people who are dubbed officially Christian artists. And even them, I don't always feel the presence of God in their work. I sometimes hear just the presence of, I don't know. It's like the sound of imitation and regurgitation and creating the same things. And Sufjan does that too, so I'm not trying to judge or glorify anything other than God, my faith in God. But if it really is as simple as glue being God and we're all broken puzzles on the floor, if it's as simple as that, if that's what Earth is, like school for brokenness, and all the beauty we experience and witness, all the effortlessness in nature and everything is perfect peace, perfect unknowing peace. And if original sin is as simple as human beings being like witches and wizards and wanting knowledge for themselves, can you imagine an eagle or a frog? Maybe a frog. No, I'm kidding. But can you imagine something as beautiful as an eagle or a bird or some sort of adorable tiny creature like a ladybug or a ferret, an otter? Can you imagine them deciding that their natural nature and the way that the world is made wasn't good enough for them, and that they instead needed to find out for themselves the nature of good and evil, making petitions and protests that eagles should stop eating certain smaller creatures? And I mean, think of the laws of nature. Almost every person I know that either hates God or is angry at God seems to worship nature, but nature is full of so much that is unfair and unjust. But to me, the secret and the beauty is that those animals, those beings, either aren't capable of or just aren't questioning it. They're just living. They're just in it. And I feel like when people talk about sin or original sin, I feel like what we're talking about here is some way that our brains got so big that we thought being in control would fix whatever evil seems to be in natural nature, like predators eating prey. But our brains, our big brains, our knowledge of good and evil, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, whatever it is. I mean, most of these things have come to me like visions. I'm not trying to be a prophet. I'm not trying to rewrite the Bible. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just telling you what I have come to think and experience, and I am not trying to do the very thing hypocritically that I'm saying is the problem. I'm just saying, like, it's not a stretch to imagine that that's what happened with humans. That something, whether a snake is a metaphor, got in the ears of us, and we believed that us knowing things would solve things. But look at the state of the world. Us knowing things, it's like, it's something in some other literature that I read that talks about the actors all wanting to be the director. Like, there needs to be a director that organizes, the organizing principle of the entire universe, the way planets revolve and move, and the way animals and the food chain and everything works. It's like, if human beings are an example of everyone being an individual actor and wanting to direct the play, well, then nobody's happy being anything but the lead. And nobody's happy, well, some people, because they don't want center stage, and that's why some things seem to effortlessly come together. Like, certain bands are very well balanced because someone wants to sing the lead and the other person wants to be to the side and, you know, playing the guitar parts only and not speaking. And, you know, maybe sometimes there is perfect harmony that seems to come together like that, but it's very rare, because usually our egos get in the way. And I'm not saying we're all egotistical. I guess I'm thinking of the word ego because of the book I'm reading that's helping me stay out of fear lately. Where is it? Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth, Awakening to Your Life's Purpose. That sounds so clickbaity. It's not like that. It's more like the power of now. And I'm just reading and thinking about the topic of ego and realizing, like, ego just means, oops, hold on. I had an incense going. And I, like, melted a little bit of this plastic. Whoopsies. Okay. Well, oh well. It's an older car. I don't have plans to sell it. But I should have used my new little incense holder. Incense helps me sometimes just to kind of clear the air of whatever negativity I've put in it, probably. I'm a very negative person. I don't mean to be. I'm a person who can't get my brain easily out of anxiety. Anxiety over what to do with the day, with a weekend, with a creative project, with a job, with money, with, like, the 10,000 choices that we're supposed to always be making. And, you know, that's where it's nice to look up to the animal kingdom and just be like, wow, they're not thinking about it. It doesn't seem like. It's just instinct. When they're resting, they're just purely resting. And when they need to go catch their prey, they go catch their prey. And it's just like, it just looks more effortless. And we make everything into a big problem and a big puzzle to be figured out. And then that takes its own energy. Especially because most glues that you can use to glue the puzzle of your life together are not reliable glues. I don't think you can make glue into plural glues, but it sounded funny, so I did it. And it rhymed with use. Well, there you go. There's a video for you right by a dog park I just found. Quincy Dog Park. Where is it? There. I don't see dogs, but I'm gonna put that down. This is a nice little park. I don't know, my sadness was just really affecting me ever since my walk on the Hope College campus. I was dreaming of, like, teaching a songwriting class about how the muse works and how to allow the Holy Spirit to flow through you, how to just allow creativity to use you, to write you, and not the other way around. But I don't know if I want to teach a college class, and I certainly don't know if I want to try to craft classes both for secular and Christian colleges. I don't know. I got a very spiritual feeling of peace on Hope College. Like I could just stop splitting myself. My Christian and non-Christian influences, self. I don't know. I think it gets exhausting to split yourself. And I became a born again at 17. But then because it was kind of new, even though we were like raised in the church, but we'd had a few years away from it. But it was like, because it was kind of new, maybe it just kind of shocked people around me when I was looking into Christian colleges. So then I didn't end up going to a Christian college, but I ended up having like all my worst traumas in college, a non-Christian college. I'm not saying no traumas happen at Christian colleges. I'm sure plenty do. But I don't know. Just feeling a lot right now. Feeling like, well, and actually, I really shouldn't even be saying all this. I mean, like, I struggle with a lot of, well, that's not helpful. I'm not going to tear apart the thing that's helping. But I will say, like, my anxiety is being soothed lately by the Tao Te Ching, which I found out about at the college I went to. So my life has gone the way my life has gone. And I think I need to remember to always do that. Like this sort of past tense, what if my life had gone this way or that? It's like if you're a puzzle on the floor and you're broken, or you're half put together, because like a lot of things have been great in my life lately, and you're half put together, you know, like, but if you're a puzzle, like it doesn't help to look at the other ways you could have been further along, or the other ways you could have been put together. It's like, this is not helpful analysis. So you are where you're at. You've unfolded the way you've unfolded. You're broken in the ways you're broken. Like, that's how time works. That's how life, like, it's linear. Like, this sort of quantum concept of, like, there being so many alternate trajectories. Like, I don't know that that helps anybody to imagine all the other trajectories that could, would, should have been. If it was meant to be those things, wouldn't it have been those things? Like, I don't know. If you could have been that person 20 years ago who was strong in the way that you're wishing or thinking you should have been strong, if you could have been that person, you would have been. So I feel like the whole way God has worked with what we were capable of being. And there couldn't have been another thing that we were capable of being. Like, I don't think I, as Jessica Fogel, could be a person who didn't end up abused with all of the components that occurred. I also don't think I could have ended up a person that would be like famous and performing all over the world, you know. That's never been, like, still to this day, if I see a big concert venue, I drove past like the Riviera and the Aragon. I used to live right by them in Chicago, and I realized that 10 years ago when I was making my first album there, like, I never saw that as my end goal. I never saw myself touring the world as Jessica Fogel or Jessica in the Rainbow. Like, I never actually saw myself center stage spotlight like that. And I think I struggled even to see it even as a component in a band like Cloudlight. And I kind of saw it more in the musical theater world when I wrote for other people to sing and perform. And that's theaters. But not fully that either, because I didn't. Every time I've tried to kind of consider going back to that, I'm like, that's not me. Kind of see this underground singer-songwriter thing, this low-key indie lo-fi thing. I mean, that just is what I am. But maybe not one who does shows, you know? Like, and that's, like, I haven't been very drawn to shows lately. And I know we're in a pandemic, but I had a couple invites to do these virtual versions recently, and one's with an organization that I've wanted to work with since I first heard about them, like over 5 years ago, and had made a big deal about that organization in my mind. And it just, the way it unfolded and the way the person took forever, like, first was urgent and then didn't write for 5 weeks, and it's just, I want to, like, protect that person because I'm always trying to be loving, but it's actually kind of offensive and just shows how little I'm cared about. And I don't want to not do it for that reason, but I'm just realizing more and more, like, if you don't, like, if I really wanted to do this thing, then I wouldn't mind those things. But it's like, I must not really want to do it. I know I'm being too vague for this to be a good story, but I think there's a lot of things that I thought I should want to do that I don't actually want to do with my time. I actually get very anxious around packing up, loading up, setting up, even live stream shows. The last, like, I did 2 live stream shows last year, and one was very serious and one was very, very laid back, like the lo-fi indie world. And guess which one I liked? only. I did not like the other one at all. And the other one, the very polished one, probably is a better show. It had better sound. Like, I really cared for that, and I did a good job. But the trade-off isn't worth it for me. It's not like it led to 1 billion fans or even 10 new fans or anything. Like, it doesn't lead to people necessarily finding out about you. So if you hate doing something, or if you get so anxious doing something, there's other paths to the goal. You don't have to do the thing that you hate or feel so uncomfortable with because some random article or book in the 90s or 2000s or whatever said that this is the only path to success in the field that you're only kind of in anyway, because you're not really making money as a songwriter. Like, if this is you, if you've internalized weird advice and rules of how you have to be in order to be successful, as in like being on a label, or, you know, being touring, or whatever it may be, like, if these things you feel like you have to do them but you don't actually want to do them, or every time they come around, like, say when you book it you get excited, but then when the actual day comes you're just anxious, and not in a like anxious because I care so much way, but anxious like I'd rather just skip over this day and be in my pajamas and be like YouTubing or Instagramming, or like, there are just so many ways. Like, the world is evolving. Don't force yourself to do things unless you have to. Like, if you have to pay, like, but even jobs, you could say no, then look for a different job. Like, try to find, I don't think everything that's hard is supposed to be joyful, but I think it's supposed to flow, and that gets back to like Holy Spirit. Like, I think when we are being led, or when we feel guided, or when something's within our instinct, that goes back to like animal kingdom. Like, when something is led and it's your instinct, like even birds, how they follow the flock, like, that's instinct. They're not sitting there thinking, I'm a follower, mopey mopey me. And they shouldn't sit there and pressure themselves to be a leader when there's already a clear leader of the bird flock. You know, you don't have to sit at home and go like, wow, I should feel bad about myself, I'm second fiddle, second bird to that leader, and I'm just following, and then force yourself to like something that you don't even like, when maybe it's wired in your bird DNA to follow that other bird that's naturally a leader. Like, it's just, there's so many things. I see it in society, the ways we're forcing ourselves to be something other than we are. It just doesn't make any sense. Like, I would hope that nobody would watch this very unpaid, very unviewed YouTube channel, get inspired by it for whatever reason, and then follow that up with the thought that you should do this too. Then go to try doing this, realize you don't like doing this, hate doing it, but think you have to do it for some odd, weird internal reason that like you're helping. Like, I'd hope that this helps you if you're watching it. I really would. But that doesn't mean you also have to do it if this isn't what you want to do. Like, you go play shows if you actually like shows, or you go write books if you like writing books. I'm not organized enough to write books. I've really dreamed that dream so many times, but I don't think I was meant to write books. I think I was meant to write books by having a scrappy, unedited YouTube channel, and if someone else wants to transcribe this, feel free. You know, like, I don't even think this is going to be how money is made in the future. Like, what, ads? Like, either ads on my YouTubes, that doesn't make any sense, or B, if someone takes the time to transcribe this, you should get paid the money. Like, sure, send me some if you would like, or please send me all of it if you feel like, oh, it's my content, cool, like, sure, that'd be great. But I don't even think that's what the world's going to be, even like 5 years from now. I think the world is just going to keep changing, and everything's going to be free. You can listen to like Billie Holiday and Ella Fitzgerald completely for free now. No one's paying them. And it's somebody random uploading them. It's not even the official label. It's insane. The world is changing. I'm not going to make money off my ideas. Like, this is not what the world is anymore. Any of those weird artistic dreams of like writing a book, or even releasing an album and like holding on to some sort of copyright and royalties and all of that. Like, I just think I've had ASCAP, like, as a performing rights organization for all these years, and like made like dollars or whatever, on like streams or plays of the World Mind music or whatever, and I'll make money off that. And it's like, okay, but over the course of a year, the money that comes to me from ASCAP policing people using my music, like, that's a real business, and they're policing who uses what music. That business is gonna die, by the way, or maybe it won't. I mean, I don't know what I'm saying. Maybe with big labels and big musicians it doesn't die. But my point is, should I, lo-fi weirdo, be putting, or have put, just because an article said to, all that energy and attention into something that's made me maybe $1,000 total in 10 years? It's like, I make more than $1,000 a month teaching people how to play an instrument and working with them on thoughts and feelings and songwriting and ukulele and usually piano. Piano's my main one, but like, maybe that'll die someday and I'll have to figure out a new job. But it's like, why would I hustle in the music scene for something that, even if I got so lucky and did my absolute best in, I would be, I mean, because that movie was super famous. I was going to say I would be lucky to even make $1,000. Like, all the success, I mean, we were written up in Glasgow, in Scotland, in like a big indie music article. We were put on the front page of Bandcamp, or I was solo and Cloudlight was. Front page of Bandcamp, both of us, in 2017. And I was put on the front page again in 2020, just last year. New and notable. Bandcamp. Huge, huge, huge thing. Absolutely huge. And I did get more sales. Person from Japan, someone from France, someone from Mexico, someone from Canada. I remember feeling like, whoa. Like, every time that happens, you get a little like, whoa, this is it. But, like, it's not it. There is no it. Like, it's not it. It's not it. And even if it was it, then your life would change so drastically that everything you've been building and working to know, it'd be like the puzzle getting thrown into another room now. And now every bit of context and understanding you've had of your broken puzzle, sinful, I'm going to say, life of like believing you need to know or figure anything out, knowledge of good and evil, like all of that would be related to the living room you broke in off of the fireplace, you know, and now your whole puzzle would be thrown into a different room or into a fancy house, and now you just have new problems, new brokenness, new ways of messing up. It's like, I do not see how that would be a solution. It's seductive, it's temptation, it's money is a temptation, ease is a temptation, resources are a temptation, comfort is a temptation. I literally have no ground to stand on, and I don't want to sit here and list to you the things I struggle most with, but I know what they are. Even the nicest people who seem like the best people are, I hate the word sin. I really feel like it's been misunderstood by so many people, but that is what I'm saying right now. Even the nicest, best people are sinning constantly. We're not supposed to be figuring out how not to sin. We're supposed to be loving our Creator and like being given grace to not have to live in that, to like live in the sunlight of God, like the grace of God. Like, that's what I don't know. I just listened to Carrie Ann Lowell yesterday, and it just stirred my heart so much. So I know I'm talking a lot of God and Jesus and Holy Spirit stuff, and maybe that's intense for you if you're not a Christian, or, you know, don't have some sort of like muse feeling connection. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm really hungry. Bye.